And actually, the first reaction that I had was, we went into that main chamber, which from the elevator kind of came. We saw that poster or that picture of the superhero without the face that was flying, and I immediately thought, oh my gosh, I can't wait to see what the other artwork is that's in here. Is there a workout facility? Is there a gym? Is there a pole that we get to like slide down? And I didn't know what was going on. So then I go into the bedroom, and if you guys watch episode 1, rewind it, you'll see all the beds had the names on them. But the bed on the far right, which is kind of brass colored, which I assume would be for the Iron Enforcer, didn't have a name tag on it. And then the blue bed right next to it said Levity. And I thought, I was not supposed to make it this far. They were planning on getting me out from the beginning, because why would they have, or were they planning, or where's the sign? There was no bed that said feedback. And I thought, oh man, is there another challenge coming? Am I going to be tossed off tonight? What's going to happen? So I was a little shocked and a little alarmed, and I thought, oh man. But then it also made me go, you know what? That's good though, because that means they didn't plan to get him off, in the first half an hour. Nothing was, planned out. They had Levity up there because they didn't know who was going to be eliminated. So then they took that sign away and then replaced it with a feedback sign, and that became my bed right next to Iron Enforcer, which I didn't think he smelled or snored. But
who snored?
I didn't think Iron Enforcer snored.
No, but did anybody snore?
I was so exhausted every day, I couldn't tell you.
You guys all really slept in that room.
We all really did. It was like the Waltons. We'd say, good night, Fat Mama. Good night, Feedback. Good night, Nitro G. Good night, Feedback. Yeah, it was really cool. Really cool.
Do you want to talk about how you set every chair?
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, about experiencing the lair. So, after I thought I totally messed up on the little girl challenge, I knew I was leaving that night, and I thought, I'm going to sit in every chair and stare at every wall so that I can memorize what this was like just to be here. Even though it was just one day, I'll have that. So every single place there was to sit, I sat down.
Every kitchen.
Every wall to look at. I'm sure people thought they already thought I was nuts. That was the running joke. They're like, he's kind of nuts. I remember walking to the kitchen one night, because they had, I told you about these OTFs, these on-the-fly interviews. They had Tuberculous in a room doing his on-the-fly interview, and I heard them asking, yeah, Sarah? I think I should too. All right, I'll do that. And anyway, I heard someone ask Tuberculous, so what do you think about feedback? And I heard Tuberculous go, that guy's, he's a little nuts. And I think that was kind of a running joke. But yes, we should take questions. Thanks, sweetheart. Anybody have any questions? Yes?
From the time you left home,
yes,
till it was done.
How
long was that?
That was a 2-week nonstop period. I didn't get to talk with Sarah for 2 weeks. So from beginning to end, we started on a Monday and ended on a Saturday. 2 weeks later. Yeah. Yes.
Well, when someone wins a beauty pageant, usually they have a theme like fighting child poverty or teaching kids to stay off drugs. If you were to have a theme for yourself, your character, what would it be?
Bikini contest.
It's something that I write in a lot of photos when I do autographs, and it's believe in yourself and you'll go farther than you ever imagined. And I really feel like your dreams can come true if you really want it badly enough. And in some way, that dream will manifest itself, and you'll be able to fulfill that. So I know that's kind of broad, and it covers a lot of things, but the Make-A-Wish Foundation is something I really believe in. And there are a lot of kids out there that want to have a lot of experiences, and they may not be with us much longer. So I want to make sure that they get those if I can.
And considering that you have such an inspirational message, kind of a self-help message, would you consider writing a self-help book? It's such a huge deal.
Well, I've read a lot of them too. I was a huge Tony Robbins, fan and stuff like that, because there was all this, this being empowered by yourself, and I think that no matter what you believe in, it's important to also believe in yourself. And if something like that were to come along and people would express an interest in hearing about that, that'd be fine. Again, it's one of those things where I would make sure that the proceeds of it went to a charity or something like that, because I don't want the. I'm a software engineer in my life. I make okay. I'm able to live off of that, and I don't want the superhero thing to turn into something for profit, because I don't believe in that. I don't believe that that's what a superhero would do. I just don't. And so I'm trying to stick to that ideal and make sure that it's not something that benefits me but benefits other people. So that would be the condition. Yes.
Where can we find out about the second season?
You can find out about the second season at www.sci-fi.com/superhero. There's also whowantstobeasuperhero.tv, which is another place where you can go to watch.
I can tell you, as far as I know, they're doing that casting things. If you said it's your next week, there you can also send your tapes in. I don't know what the cutoff date is, but
Yeah, they haven't posted one yet.
no. So I don't think they're even going to start shooting until April. So release date I think the end of July or August. So since we have 10 episodes.
Both of your guys' favorites of the other contestants?
Of the other contestants.
You go first.
Well, I mean, personality-wise, Nitro G and I immediately clicked that first night because he loves comics. We stay up till 3 in the morning talking about Gwen Stacy. Which, if you look at my wife, you'll know why. I love Gwen Stacy. She has this little black hairband that she wears sometimes. It's awesome. But I talk with Fat Mama almost every day, and I talk with Major Victory all the time, and Nitro all the time, and Tobacculous and Monkey Woman, and we've all become really good friends. So, Fat Mom and I shared a special experience because we went all the way through. We got to see everything together. So, naturally we're kind of closer than some of the other heroes because we were there the longest. But I like Levity's powers. Being able to use air and stuff like that. That was cool.
Yeah, honestly, when I saw the raw footage, Levity was my favorite, which is odd because he didn't come off like a superhero. But since we saw him first, and he had sort of a bearing to him, he had sort of a deep radio voice. I liked him a lot. It's a shame that we didn't get to know him. His character was really interesting.
Yeah.
And I have kind of a soft spot for Monkey Woman, but I think it's obvious one.
The screeching.
Yes, the screeching.
Screeches.
Hey, that's one tough primate. 10 minutes, was it?
10 minutes.
All right. That wasn't
no
fake.
joke.
That was 10 minutes of her on the ground fighting with those dogs, whereas that Major Victory gave right at the end.
No, Iron Enforcer.
Oh, Iron Enforcer, sorry.
Major Victory, this is what's kind of cool, is Major Victory, one of his powers is he can't be knocked down. How cool is that those dogs hit him one on each side and he didn't go down?
Yeah.
When he told me that, I was floored. That's awesome. And the other thing is in Nitro G's background story, Nitro's original background story, he ran past a little girl. I kid you
Really?
not.
When
He showed me his original background story. He was trying to catch a bus or something like that, and some little girl needed help, and he went straight by her, and then the girl went out in the middle of the street and got killed.
Wow.
In the original background story.
You heard him explain why he didn't stop for her.
He was running so fast.
Well, he told me that he said, "Look, I'm from New York. A guy stops and talks to a little girl when he can arrest him. wearing these green tights, are you crazy?"
That's his excuse. That's Nitro. He's awesome. All right. Yes.
I hope this isn't too personal a question. One of the most touching scenes of the entire last season was when Victory, at the end after he was eliminated, had a chance to reconcile with his daughter.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if you know if anything ever came of that, or was that something that Stan planned or orchestrated, or?
It was his daughter.
It was definitely his daughter. His daughter did not know, to Major Victory's knowledge, that he was on the show. And he was kind of doing this as a way to, at some point when the show aired, for her to be able to see it. And for her to see that he was making a new effort to dedicate, something to her in his life. And, there was a lot about him you guys didn't get a chance to see. But there are a lot of challenges that he went through, and this for him was kind of like a rededication to being the ideals of a great dad, and for him to show her that, he's someone that really cares about her. And I'm glad that she got to see that.